we have gone through our assembly. We have gone through setup and configuration. Now it is time to get ready to go fly this guy. Some things that I have done. Obviously we're about to put propellers on here. They're going to be spinning. We do not want to chop up any wires or anything like that. Since we don't want to chop anything up, it's a good idea to go around and secure any loose objects that potentially could make their way into the propellers. So, as you can see, some of the things that I've done, I've added zip ties around the LEDs, and actually if you flip it over, you will see that I've routed my wiring along the underside of the arms so that the zip tie holds both the wires and the LED at the same time. One of the things that you will find over time is as you crash, propellers will bend and potentially can damage these. A nice little side project, if you have a 3D printer, may be to design and print some form of guards to protect these guys. Or you could look out on Thingiverse, or if it is something that winds up being a problem, they make something called race wire that you could reach out to us and we would help with that. The downside and the reason we don't naturally include them is it requires you to solder them into place. So it's something that is a aftermarket kind of thing. But again, like I said, we route our motor wires and all of that under the arm to prevent any sort of damage to that, because if I was going to prioritize damage, I don't mind losing a light, whereas I would mind losing a motor wire. So that's kind of the motivation behind it. But again, you're going to want to try and secure everything and make sure that it is not going to find its way into a propeller. You'll notice that we have our receiver antennas. If you look up underneath there, the receiver antennas have been routed up out into here. Again, it's the same logic, trying to keep them out of the way of any propellers. We include the zip ties, we include some heat shrink for you to use if you want to do it this way. The main thing that we're trying to communicate is you need to keep things out of your propellers. Something that I realized as I was going through my assembly video, I don't remember if I focused about the glue. It is a good idea to run a bead of glue along the edges of this GPS to prevent it from popping out of here. It's just a press fit to go up in there, and so in a crash or even when I was doing our compass calibration, I accidentally knocked this out. So like I said, it's a good idea to run a bead of glue along here to keep it in place. The only reason I have not done it is this is my tester quad and I disassemble and reassemble this thing quite frequently. So again, some glue there, something to keep these up out of the way, something to keep these clear of damage. You can reroute these in a manner to bring them on the other side of this standoff if you so choose. On the bottom, when I plug my battery in, I'm doing it with this to the front so that it's just taking up that little bit of extra slack to keep it out of any sort of propellers. So with that, now I'm going to go into propellers. You should get 2 packs of these per Cobra, because like I said, if you're going to damage something, it's more than likely going to be your propellers. When you crash, they get stuck in the dirt, they hit the gate, something like that, the propellers will bend. You can easily just bend them back into place, but eventually they will break, especially if you're not disarming as soon as you hit the ground or hit whatever object. So I'm going to open these up. If you remember from our motor rotation step, you need to try and remember, okay, which way was my motors rotating? Now I'll tell you right now, I can tell you, they go in. The easiest way to remember is they go in the back, and then they just go diagonal. So if this one is spinning in this way, the one that matches it is going to go to there. If this guy is spinning in that way, the one that matches it is going to go there. So then the other thing we want to talk about is the pitch of your propeller. So the pitch is what is scooping the air. So if my motor is going this way, that means this prop is going backwards, and it would not work properly. If you put it on this side, the motor's going this way, the pitch is in the front, it would work properly, because again, pitch is scooping the air, pushing it down, the motor is rotating in that direction, so this prop goes on that motor. And then, like I said, if you find the prop that matches it, which is going to be this guy, he goes there. And now that you have those two matched up, you know, okay, these must go here. But just to verify, this motor is going to be spinning that way, the scoop is going in the right direction, it will fly. So the last thing I'm going to do, and then I will go ahead and end this, is to remind everyone that our motors are funky, and right is loose, left is tight. So when you go to put the prop nuts on, left is tight, right is loose. You'll be using your 8mm box. It's a nut driver is what I call it, but they got 8.0 box on here. That's what fits this. And then left is tight. So again, don't forget your glue. But now we're pretty much ready to go. I have 2 more videos I want to make, and then that should conclude our video playlist. I want to go over how to do smart audio, which I'll do here in the office, and then I'll take it outside and I'll go over how to do turtle mode, because turtle mode is something that you will use. I'll talk about the positives and the negatives of turtle mode, and then that should pretty much get you on your way. I always encourage you to put comments at the bottom of the video, suggestions, ways we could do it better, information we may have missed, and I wish you all happy flying.